Hey Geo Nerds, here we are here at Sparks Hill. This is the first of a series we're going to be doing called Over the Top. We'll take a hilly feature somewhere and we'll walk over the top, we'll record it and show you guys what it's all about. So hang on, grab something good to drink and we'll start the show. Hey Geo Nerds, just a quick thank you to all the new subscribers. The YouTube algorithm takes no prisoners, and this is a fairly narrow content channel, so it's never going to get on the algorithm. So if you know any friends who think might like this material, please flick them my way. Anyway, as was once said, overture, curtains, lights, this is it, you'll hit the heights. I know what heights you'll hit. On with the show, this is it. Well, here we are again, flying through Brisbane over the 7-wheel. Oh, we just missed the council chambers, that's all right. Out over Spring Hill. No, we're not going there today. We're going over to Sparks Hill. So we're going across Alderley and Alderley Heights and the Grange, and here's Sparks Hill. It's in the city. Oh, look, there's the Anaconda. And you can see Kedron Brook down there, and there's the hill. It's got quite a reservoir complex on top of it, but that big reservoir is the main one. We'll get into some stats on that in a bit, but certainly that's hill. She's got a lot of houses on this side. It's quite a steep hill, and there it is, right in the between basically Stafford and Everton Park. It's a really nice place, and so what we'll do now is we'll get into a few of the details and then the walkabout we did on it. So folks, here we are walking up Sparks Hill. It's a really pretty place, a surprise to me. See the old school fence here that's obviously been knocked down about 250 times. It was a gate, then it's come down, now it's just nothing. So up we go, and it's looking really good actually. Look at the beautiful trees. No particularly old trees you'll notice, but there's some nice trees here. And you can see there's a land care group here working, and they care about what they're doing, because this is tough stuff. Here's the old school fence, not there anymore. Here we are on Sparks Hill, and this hill is just one big massive pile of Narranley Fernvale shale and argillite. Well, there you go. Wonder why it's a hill. Well, the question's deeper than it looks, because this same rock is all the way around here. If you look at this strata, it's dipping back into the hill. So it may be a big fold, a big anticline that's slightly harder than everything else, which is why it's here. Anyway, we'll keep looking. Oh, look at this folks, I love a good outcrop. Someone's run through here with a bulldozer. There's a big quartz vein there, man. That's huge. And look at the rock on either side of it. This is schist. This is shale that's been geothermally cooked. Look at this. I'll just freeze this for a second. That's a massive quartz vein. And above this, the shale and below it is just cooked. When we hit this with a hammer, it rung like a bell. This whole hill is made out of this stuff. It's absolutely everywhere. So this stuff is very hard. This is shale, but it is metamorphic shale. It's essentially a schist, and it looks like there is geothermal intrusions all through it. Lots and lots of big quartz veins, and I suspect the reason it's here is it has been cooked by the geothermals into schist. This stuff is hard. My hammer was bouncing off it. Anyway, I've got a piece to take home. We'll have a look and see what it looks like under the microscope. Well, I got the old microscope out, and here's one sample I brought back, and you can see this stuff is well and truly welded. This has been metamorphosed completely. Little fine veins of silica, and you can see the folate formation in all of this. It's very silica rich. There's been lots of geothermals in this, and it's all pretty good looking rock actually. This last one, the striations are so fine. Look at them. I would say they've just been compressed to hell. But anyway, that solves that. That's definitely a schist, a very well cooked schist as well. Well folks, it looks like the top section of this hill is very hard schist. Really hard black schist, not unlike the Mount Cootha schist. But this is nowhere near any of the volcan orogenies that we're used to, so I'd say it's just a geothermal event that's cooked it. But this is why it's here. This is 93 metres above the plain. When we get a chance, I'll show you how high it is, but it's really, you should come up here. There's a road right here. We walked up, but there's a road up here. You don't have to walk up. It's really worth having a look at. Here we are at the Sparks Hill Reservoir. This is the biggest mural I've ever seen. It's beautiful. And the dickheads have still tagged it. You just can't help, can you? Anyway, it looks great. Now folks, we're on top of the Sparks Hill here, just behind one of the reservoirs. There's 3 reservoirs up here. According to the surveying datum point over there, this is 92.7 metres above sea level. Looks about right to me. There's the radio tower and all the other gummings. And everywhere we look in the geology up here, we're seeing schist and argillite mixed together with quartz veins. So it's a very interesting, certainly not shown in our geology maps that way, but that's close enough. Here we are folks on the southern side of Sparks Hill. This is a beautiful surprise. There's lovely tracks here, very beautiful, fairly untouched bush, and it's really pleasant to walk through and experience. Now folks, this is a fig that is about to take over a gum tree. The gum tree, you need to run mate, run while you can. Oh, you can't, sorry. It's interesting how all this grass is dead and all this grass isn't. I don't think the rainfall on this side of the track is particularly worse than the rainfall on this side of the track. So I think somebody's been in here with some herbicide, probably creating a fire break for the infrastructure on the top of the hill. Now this southern side is just beautiful. It's a real microclimate rainforest, and oh look, here's a creek bed. I'll bet this is the original Kedron Brook that's been bypassed by the Kedron Brook that's nice and straight and on the other side and 3 times as wide. It could just be a billabong. It's quite a bit higher than the current brook as far as level goes, but it's just beautiful. Look at that vegetation. This place is like a rainforest. It's just beautiful. And it's just beautiful and cool here today. There's not too much humidity. It's really cool. Anyway, what we'll do now is we'll have a look at some photographs. Now, there's only one type of photograph for geo-nerds. That's aerial photographs, and usually historical aerial photographs, and a few maps and a bit of geology. And let's try and bring this story together for you. Here we have a geological map of the Sparks Hill Reservoir, and you can see the purples there. The purple on the right is the Narranley Fernvale shales. The purple on the left is the Brisbane phyllites, again more shales. The yellow is the gravel. The feature on here that's probably more interesting is that dotted line that's running right down the Yellow Valley. That's the North Pine Fault. That's where these 2 rock types split. Right in that creek valley. That creek has followed the fault up that valley, obviously at some stage. So I think what we'll do now is we'll have a look at some ye olde maps. I've got some from the 1890s and some from the early 1900s, and I think they'll tell us a bit of a story. So here's a map from 1895, and I'll just mark the Stafford Road, Trouts Road intersection. Stafford Road was then called Happy Valley Road, because that's what Stafford was called, for orientation. And as you can see, you can't actually see the hill in this, but you can see the river, and you can see that little sort of island in the river, and that thing there. Now, I think we'll come back to that, because I think that's what we were walking through today. Here we are in the early 1900s, and that's the Sparks Hill there, and you can see the creek there. And I think what we're seeing here is one of those bows has been cut off, and they just show one side of it now. So yeah, the creek is evolving as it always does. And there it is there, and I think one of those bows has been isolated, the one that went up against the hill itself. We are back in 1936. She's a pretty wild country town. There's a tannery up there and a few farms, and here's the Trouts Road, or Stafford Road by then, intersection. And as you can see, there is not a lot of development on this hill. There's a road that tries to go up it. There's no residential whatsoever, not even any tracks that you can see, and it's fairly sparsely wooded compared to what it is today, but you can still see where the creek cuts around against it, nowhere near where it is at the moment. Well folks, this one's from 1946, so you can see there's Trouts Road and Stafford Road, and look, we've got a reservoir. It was finished in 1941, 94 gigalitres it holds, so yeah, pretty good actually. There it is, there's the reservoir, and you can see the creek's actually still very meandering, not the drainage channel we see today. And it's good to see the farms are still there, but the farm down on Royal Parade is gone. That's gone. Those houses didn't really sell over there for some reason. Well folks, here we are, we're in the 1960 here now, and there's Trouts Road and Stafford Road for you again, and you can see we have two reservoirs. We've got the little one right on the top, we got the big one they built in 1941. The creek is looking very meandery still. That little farm is now down there on the creek, and the other farm is still there in 1960. I never knew that was there. I wasn't there in 1960. Well folks, here we are in 1979. There's the Stafford Road, Trouts Road intersection. We've got a full set of reservoirs there, and a few tracks cut into it too, as you can now see, and you can see the creek has been straightened out. It's now as straight as a die, and the bridge is there, the road is through. It's pretty much what we see today. But anyway, let's have a quick look at a little bit of history, and then we'll get out of here. Well, here we are. Here's the topo, guys. Not much to see. You don't have to be Einstein to know where the Sparks Hill is. It's just a big lump, all by itself, being cut through by the Kedron Brook. So at some stage, they've done some maintenance inside these things. So this, I think, is the new reservoir, the big concrete one with the nice mural on the side. And this is a 94 gigalitre reservoir. And this is the old reservoir from 1941. A beautiful photograph, I might add, and you can see this one's got the shape that goes around the contour of the hill. Well, that's it, Geo Nerds. The Sparks Hill video is done. I'm just going to put up a photo of 2020 aerial shot of this place. And the building over on the right there is Bunnings at Stafford. The buildings over on the left are basically the Anaconda and Spotlight and all that. This is really easy to get to. There are buses on Stafford Road, there are buses on Shan Street, there are buses at Everton Park. You can drive up there, you can park there. There's quite good access. You can walk in and around the reservoirs. You can't take your vehicle in there, but you can go in there on foot. There's no problem. There's a special gate there for you to do that. There are tracks all over the place. I actually walked in from the car park of Anaconda. I got a 359 bus out there and just walked up. And then a mate dropped me back to Alderley Station on the train home. I don't drive cars anywhere if I can help it anymore. I'm just over it. It's a shame all these buses driving around with no one on them. It doesn't really, it's not going to hurt the planet anymore by plonking one little T-Rock on it. So I catch buses and trains to wherever I can to shoot these videos for you. I don't think you've seen any videos of the 193 videos I've uploaded that were not shot and accessed by public transport. If there were, it would only be one. Anyway, so that's it. We're going to do another one of these. We're probably going to do Mount Gravatt next. I don't know when. I've got so many videos in the can I've got to finish editing from all the creeks I've done. I can shoot these things a lot faster than I can edit them. So no sick joke today. Oh, I've really run out of them. I really have. You want a sick joke? Watch the news. Wait for the politicians to come on. Anyway, keep rocking. T-Rock's out.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this stuff, and hey, you made it this far, please help us to poke the algorithm and smash that like button like it's Space 1999. And if you want to see more, subscribe and share this with, say, 1,000 of your closest friends. And let's see just how far that little algorithm can go before its CPU explodes. Cop you later.